Ariana Grande's relationship curse. Why love never lasts. Ariana Grande has dated a Saturday Night Live star, married a real estate agent, fell for her Wicked co-star, and somehow still can't catch a break in love. And by the time you finish this video, you're going to understand exactly why. Because here's the twist nobody's talking about. It's not bad luck. It's a pattern so consistent you could set your watch to it. And today we're breaking down every single relationship, the eerie timeline, and the one theory that explains why Ariana Grande's love life keeps hitting the same wall over and over again. Buckle up, because this rabbit hole goes deep. Let's rewind. Before she was engaged in 5 weeks or married in a backyard ceremony, Ariana Grande was that girl from Nickelodeon everyone underestimated. Her early relationships with musicians like Big Sean and Ricky Alvarez barely registered on the tabloid radar, just warm-up rounds before the real storm hit. Then came Mac Miller, and this is where things get emotionally complicated fast. Their relationship stretched across 2 years of collaboration, chemistry, and public affection that felt genuinely real, not manufactured for headlines. But addiction struggles pulled at the relationship like a rope in a tug-of-war nobody could win, and Ariana ultimately walked away to protect her own peace. Weeks later, she was linked to Pete Davidson, and the internet basically broke in half. Engaged after 5 weeks, dripping in matching tattoos, planning a wedding at lightning speed. Think of it like sprinting a marathon. It looks impressive for about 10 seconds, and then your legs give out. The engagement collapsed within months, and the whirlwind became a cautionary tale, one Ariana herself would later address, with startling honesty in interviews and lyrics that fans still dissect line by line. Then, in true plot twist fashion, Ariana pumped the brakes entirely. She stepped out of the spotlight relationship-wise and re-emerged with Dalton Gomez, a low-key real estate agent with zero interest in fame. This felt like the opposite strategy, marrying someone allergic to attention as a shield against chaos. They tied the knot in 2021 in an intimate ceremony, and for a moment it seemed like Ariana had cracked the code. Stability. Privacy. A partner who wasn't chasing a spotlight of his own. But less than 2 years later, the marriage quietly ended, and almost immediately, headlines connected Ariana to her Wicked co-star Ethan Slater. Here's where the story gets genuinely wild, because Ethan was married to his college sweetheart, and both relationships reportedly unraveled around the same production. Think about it like 2 people trapped in an elevator for months on end. Proximity does strange things to hearts, especially under the pressure cooker of a massive film release. Ariana and Ethan went public, weathered intense backlash, and built what looked like a genuinely steady partnership for nearly 3 years, walking red carpets together, supporting each other through award season, even appearing side by side at the Oscars. But just weeks ago, sources confirmed the relationship had quietly ended, described as an amicable split after the couple had reportedly been separated for months before the news broke. No dramatic public fallout, no messy tabloid war, just a quiet fade after years of trying to make it work outside the noise. So, why does this keep happening? Here's the theory that actually holds water. Ariana Grande has spent over a decade of her adult life living inside a fishbowl where every relationship becomes public property before it's even had time to become private and real. Imagine trying to build a house while 100 people watch through the windows, commenting on every nail you hammer in. That kind of pressure doesn't just complicate a relationship, it can actively distort it, turning normal growing pains into headline fodder and forcing decisions to be made faster than they should be, whether that's an engagement or a wedding or a breakup announcement. There's also the timeline itself, which is almost suspiciously tight. Nearly every major relationship in Ariana's adult life has clocked in around the 2 to 3 year mark before ending, almost like clockwork. Some might call that coincidence. Others might call it a pattern rooted in the exhausting cycle of massive album rollouts, world tours, and blockbuster film promotions that leave almost no room for a relationship to breathe outside of a schedule. When your calendar is dictated by a label, a studio, and a global fan base, romance becomes just one more thing competing for bandwidth. And let's be honest, very few relationships survive being squeezed into the margins of someone else's superstardom. So, is Ariana Grande cursed in love? or is she simply navigating an impossible balancing act that would break almost anyone? The evidence points toward the second option, though the tabloids will always prefer the first because curse sells better than complicated. What's certain is that her openness about heartbreak, from her music to her interviews, has made her one of the most relatable superstars on the planet, proof that fame doesn't exempt anyone from the messiness of figuring out love. Whatever comes next for Ariana, one thing is guaranteed: the internet will be watching every single move. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.